Hello, my name is Sean Sperry and I am with the IBM Systems Group. I've been asked by a colleague of mine to do a short video on IBM Spectrum Protect and what it is and why you need it. So that's what I'm going to do in this quick introduction, high-level overview to Spectrum Protect. Now, for those of you who are used to my detailed videos and technical videos, this is going to be a high-level overview, so just understand that as we go forward. So getting started, the first question that comes up by most people is, why do you need data protection today? Well, hardware fails. We've all seen it, and I've seen it many times in my career, and I've even seen it on systems and storage hardware that was guaranteed never to fail. So that's one of the first reasons you need Spectrum Protect. From an upgrade and change perspective, in many cases changes can go wrong, corrupting data. We've all seen lots of examples of ransomware and malware that have taken large, very visible systems down over the last several months as I'm recording this. So that's another reason for data protection and doing the so-called air gap. Natural disasters and disaster recovery, so you may lose a whole data center. Regulatory requirements. In many countries around the world, there are regulatory requirements that require a user or a system that is a system of record to have a backup. And really, Spectrum Protect is designed to address all of those needs. Now, what does Spectrum Protect do at the most basic level? Well, it does backups in many different shapes, forms, and capacities. It does progressive incremental at the file level. It does snapshot backups. It integrates with applications, etc. It also allows you to do archive. So if you need to take some data from your systems and archive it for long-term retention purposes, it can do that. Spectrum Protect also has some add-on products, like for instance Spectrum Protect for virtual environments, that allows you to interface with not only operating systems, but also virtual machines, Hyper-V virtual machines, and VMware virtual machines to do backups of those in a Spectrum Protect environment. Now, in terms of doing backups, there are many unique features of Spectrum Protect, which we're really not going to get into a lot of detail in this video. But one of the things I want to call out is the data reduction techniques that are associated with Spectrum Protect. You can do, and Spectrum Protect does do, deduplication and encryption and compression on both the client side and or the server side. So that's very important in an environment where you have large amounts of data, some of which are duplicate, many of which are typically duplicate. You can reduce the size and store it on a data protection device or in some sort of device and recover it if you need it. This is of course integrated into the product. So one of the key things here is Spectrum Protect is very smart about the way it applies deduplication, encryption, and compression. In many cases, all of those don't mix. So when you do a backup, you may, for instance, compress data before you do the backup and not get any deduplication. Well, Spectrum Protect is very smart about the way it does this and does it in order to make sure that it's performed in the most efficient and effective way. The cloud. Today we're seeing many organizations start looking at the cloud for either running applications, for shifting workload, or for storing data. And Spectrum Protect is really a modern backup archive solution. So we can either run the Spectrum Protect server in the cloud to provide data protection, perhaps for applications that have been migrated there that you need additional control for. And we've also changed and now support, in most cases, many modern storage techniques that are very cloud specific or built for the cloud. So I'm talking about object storage here. So whether it's Amazon S3 storage, OpenStack Swift, IBM Cloud Object Storage, we allow you to take the data that you're backing up and protecting with Spectrum Protect and store it in those repositories. Node replication, and again, this comes with disaster recovery. Spectrum Protect has many different mechanisms for taking backup data and replicating it among Spectrum Protect servers, either in the cloud or in data centers. So using that technique, you can do disaster recovery preparedness, take backup data or long-term archive data that you've backed up at one site, and use Spectrum Protect features and functions to make a copy of that in another disaster recovery site. Now, in terms of ease of use, Spectrum Protect has been around for quite a while, and there are many power users associated with the system. But Spectrum Protect in recent years has introduced the Operation Center, which is a central pane that allows you to control many of the features and functions of Spectrum Protect using a graphical user interface. Pretty easy to use. It includes a lot of function now, so for day-to-day operations with regard to the server, I would strongly encourage you to take a look at that and to use it as really your primary interface to the Spectrum Protect server. Now, we're not going to get into a lot of these, but I just wanted to show the list here of all of the products that are associated with Spectrum Protect, either delivered by IBM or by our associated business partners. Many of these are designed to protect specific types of applications. So for instance, SQL Server, SharePoint, DB2, Oracle, etc. And we have many different add-ons to the product that allow you to do different types of backups. So for instance, if you want to use snapshots to do your backups, we have Spectrum Protect for snapshots or IBM Spectrum Copy Data Management. Now, we're also in the modern era bundling a lot of these solutions together in what's called the Spectrum Protect Suite. So really what we're doing is licensing the product in a way that makes it convenient to use it in the manner that's best for your particular environment without looking at all the different products and having to license each one of them separately. So it can bring a lot of value to the customers who are in large environments and doing many different kinds of backups. Now, that was my quick overview. I hope you found it useful. I really wanted to do it quick and short, just to give you an overview of the product that I'm working on. And I hope you found it useful, and I hope you'll tune into some of my other videos for some more technical details on each of these features or on all of these features.